So there comes a point in every build, you get it all together, you fucking run it, runs good, you know, you're excited, and yeah, at that point, you know, you gotta put it on the rollers, you gotta see what kind of numbers it makes, and see if it fucking breaks. So as I was driving on down to Kane's, where I decided to take my bike to get it dynoed, I got to thinking, you know, I'm not just gonna throw up the number. We need to take a little trip down memory lane, see where I came from, what I did, and what I ended up with. Because then it'll give a better picture of how the numbers are and what kind of gains I had and stuff like that. So one of the biggest regrets that I have, and I'm sure a lot of people have it, but my justification is probably the same as a lot of other people's. I should have had the bike dynoed when it was fucking bone stock. Like when I had nothing done to it, just basically got it all broken in and shit like that. But, you know, like fucking paying 120 or 150 bucks just to fucking see some pathetic stock numbers. You know, a lot of people aren't going to do that either. So, you know, I did a little bit of fucking research. And what I'm finding kind of on the internet for before numbers, like unmodded, everything like that, is about, you know, like let's say 65 to 68 horsepower and 78 foot-pounds of torque to like 82. Now that's all relative to where you are and like what your humidity is and when you ran it and stuff like that. But that's a pretty good starting point. So now one of the first mods that I did on the bike was I threw some Vance and Hines big radius 2-into-1 pipes on the bike. It's known all across the internet and all over that 2-into-1s make more power than 2-into-2s, and I kind of like the look of it. I also did the Screamin Eagle ventilator elite intake. You know, at the time I thought about the heavy breather, but I didn't know what direction I fully wanted to go, and I kind of liked the way that it looked. So, you know, at that point I headed on down to Kane's, got it on the dyno, and the numbers that came in on that were 74.55 horsepower and 92.6 foot-pounds of torque. Now that's not too bad. I mean, you think about it, like that's like what, 6 horsepower more than stock and about 10 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty big for your bang for buck, right? You know, you think about those people that take their trucks and they spend $400 on a fucking intake, $1,000 on a catback exhaust, grab one of those garbage little handheld tuners, and they maybe added 5 horsepower to the wheels. I know what the websites say, and I know you think it goes faster, but in reality, you just like the way it sounds, so you push the gas harder, making it seem faster. So I rode it like that for quite a while, and you know, I was happy. It was quick, you know, yeah, I know, Harleys are slow pieces of shit, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, like, it got up and moved. A lot of people were surprised at the fact that it was quick for a Harley. And I heard that on numerous occasions, so that's always a good feeling. But, you know, with this past winter coming up, I decided to go a little bit more. You know, I wanted some sound, I wanted some more torque, and so that's what pushed me towards the S&S 583 cams. And I figured while I was in there, I wanted that heavy breather intake because I wanted to utilize the most that I could out of the cams. And I kind of like the look of it, especially with that fucking cover on it. I know the Angry Ginger doesn't like it, but he can go fuck himself. So I fucking got the bike on the dyno at Kane's. And I'm definitely pleased with how the numbers came out. So the torque after the cams came in at 100.67 and the horsepower came in at 78.29. Now for cams alone and an intake to add 8 foot-pounds of torque on top of where I already was, that's definitely that's pretty good. You know, like I feel I've maxed out the potential of that 103 where I want it. you know, like it's definitely, if you look at the torque curve and everything, like it's gonna pull real hard at about 3,500 RPM, which is where I do most of my fucking riding anyways. And you know, that horsepower curve it's nice, and it doesn't start dropping off until later on. So I'm definitely pleased with how it turned out. You know I could have went with bigger cams, kind of pushed everything up into the higher RPMs, but I really wanted to fucking build it for how I ride it, and that was kind of the big thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little dyno video. I know I'm fucking itching for spring to come, get this thing all tested out, like actually fucking ride it. Feels like it's fucking forever away, but I think within a few weeks, you know, maybe a bit over a month, I should be able to get the fuck back out there, especially if the weather holds for the way that it has been. So make sure you go on and hit that subscribe button. You know, we're only gonna get better as we start riding again. I know these fucking garage vlogs are fucking boring as fuck, but you know, thanks for bearing with me and sticking around.